day, good people. It is Stephanie, and welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back if you are returning. Today, I want to talk about my very first vintage fountain pen. Now, I know that I could have just come on, opened it up, showed you guys what I got, ooh-ahhed about it, if it was a ooh-ah moment, but I decided to do something a little different. I decided to talk about my love of all things tortoise. So, what you see here are 6 of my fountain pens, all in some type of a tortoise resin or body style. And I thought it would be fun to talk about all of them quickly and also introduce my very first vintage pen. And why I am so excited, can't even get my words right. The reason why I'm so excited about the vintage pen is because when we all start into this hobby, we quickly talk about what we're not going to do and not going to spend. And oh, I'm not interested in that. Oh, well, maybe, sort of, kind of. And that's how I felt about a vintage pen. Of course, to be honest, that's how I felt about pens with gold hardware. And you see the majority of them here have gold hardware because I am such a silver girl. So while I've been in this hobby, I've changed, grown, learned a few things, but I always have loved tortoise. You can even see my glasses here. When I took my glasses off, I went, might as well put them in the frame because they are tortoise as well. I just love the pattern. I love the brown and black. But funny enough, let me digress for just a second. I love the brown and black, but when it comes to clothing, I have a hard time mixing brown and black. Go figure. But anyway, let's move on with what we're here for, which is the pen and the love of tortoise. So, what I want you to do right now, if you're still with me in the video, and I hope that you are, in the comments right now, I would love for you to guess which one of these pens you think is my vintage pen without getting a close up. I'm not showing you a close up. You guys may magnify your screen. But what pen do you think is the vintage pen out of this group of pens? Tell me what you think. Okay, so what do I have in here? I'm going to pull out your obvious two, or your obvious first two, or what I think are your obvious first two, which number one would be the tortoise Esterbrook Esty. Here she is. I took forever to get this pen because I had to look high and low for silver hardware. I just wanted silver hardware. I thought it would look good with silver hardware. And I am glad that I waited and sought it out and found it. I think I finally found it, maybe drum ghouls. Um, but yes, excited. Well, excited, yeah, that I got it and found it in silver hardware. This is my Esterbrook SD. She comes with a silver nib. She's in a fine. I love her, and I know you guys pointed her out off top. Okay. I also just recently got the amber in tortoise. She's in the other room because she's being used right now, and she is in a medium nib. Second, I believe you guys spotted the Conklin. Now, you guys know I'm a Conklin girl. I know I always say it. I know Conklin gets a bad rap, but I have never had an issue with any of my Conklins. This one is a fine nib. It is the black coated nib. She writes very, very well. She is one of my very first fountain pens because, like I said, I've always loved tortoise. So once I got into the hobby and started learning and looking, I was like, ooh, I need to find a tortoise. I need to find a tortoise. Sorry, I was checking my microphone. It was falling off my shirt. Um, but I need to find a tortoise fountain pen. And this is what I found, the Conklin All American. And I love her. I have no problems. Now, for those of you that have moved in closer or you're enthusiasts, or I'm going to call you fountain pen connoisseurs, you probably have picked out this pen. This pen I got from Stilo and Steel. She was a Fountain Pen Day exclusive at Stilo and Steel on Fountain Pen Day this past November. She may look Leonardo-ish, but she is actually a radius. And if you know anything about my collection, I have a few radiuses in my collection. She makes the fourth radius. I was looking across at my pens. And this is the radius 1934. She is in a fine. She is currently inked up with a dark brown ink, and I love her. I've stared at her over the last month because I kept looking at her saying, I have her. I don't need the amber from Estabrook. I have her. I don't need the amber. And of course, I clicked, bought the amber. And then after I clicked it, had the nerve to say, but you don't need the amber. You have the radius. Well, now I have them both, and I love them both. Okay, so we have three left. Now, those of you with a keen eye probably jumped all the way over here and may have guessed that this is a Laban. Yes, this is a Laban. She is my third Laban. I don't think she's inked up though. She is my third Laban. She's not inked up. Let's see. She is a, what nib is that? I can't even see. Is that a fine nib? I can't remember. I have to look in my notes. But again, bought her because of the way she looks, because of the tortoise. Um, and she does. She writes. She writes well. No problem with her at all. So you're probably thinking, well, Stephanie, you got all of these tortoises. You haven't found your fix, haven't found your fix. And I can't even say, even when I introduce you to the vintage pen, that I've necessarily found my fix. But anyway, let's keep going. So then, this young lady came across one of my feeds or on something. Maybe I was watching Instagram or YouTube. But this is a, golly, y'all, I don't want to tear up the name. The Kailgeu pen in that whole um Hung Dien Jinhao family of a pen. She's cute. I got her because she was cute. She's inked up. I think I inked her up with a blue. She's a fine pen. Now, in true transparency, you get what you pay for with her, but she is pretty to look at and photograph. She's not a bad writer. I'm not saying that, but she is on the more affordable end, but she's still cute, and I bought her. So that does leave me to the last pen in the tray, which is my first vintage pen. Look at her, y'all. I literally just unboxed her. She came wrapped lovely. The funny thing about this pen is the seller had a Danitrio, which is what she is. Hopefully you can see that. She's a Danitrio pen. And the seller had a Danitrio in blue. Don't be surprised if I end up with it. But I know I have not ordered it. But the seller was advertising the blue, and I kept looking and thinking and back and forth with the blue. And then something said, you know what, Stephanie, just ask. And so I messaged him and I said, would you happen to have the Danny Trio in the cum laude brown, which is her government name? And he said, well, yeah. I said, okay, would you be interested in selling that? He's like, sure. Now, he had the blue listed for a very good price. And I had no reason to believe that he wouldn't list this one for a very good price. But of course, my eagerness and my asking, I guess, prompted him to say, maybe I can get a little bit more. And he went up 10 whole dollars. But I still bought it. Um, Again, this is called a Danny Trio, and I'm saying Danitrio. I did some research on her, looked her up to see if she could be considered a vintage pen. They said yes because of when she was made. She is in a medium nib. She is celluloid and ebonite, y'all. She is celluloid and ebonite. What I learned about this company is they are still in business making pens, but they now only make the Irushi pens. Very, very expensive, beautiful Irushi pens. But this started out as one of their beginner pens. And when they first created this pen, it was created for students. Um, it was around $200. So even back then, when it was vintage, it was $200. I didn't pay that much for it when I bought it, just so you know. But this was originally created for students to use in that line or within this Danny Trio company. So, anyway, how did I come to have her in my hands? On YouTube, like we all are, looking, watching, seeing what we can see. And I found a video where a young lady was at a pen show and she walked up on this very pen. And I kept watching the video and I was like, ooh, that's pretty. Wonder how it writes. She said it wrote fine. I'm gonna dip test mine in a minute. But I just oohed and awed and watched her video 3 times to make sure this was something I really wanted to try to find because I knew it would take me some hunting and some researching. Um, and I do say all that to say I found her on eBay. Now I know there's some things ins and outs about eBay, but guess what, y'all? I have had 100% luck on eBay. And I'll tell you what, I have had great sellers. I have had great prices. And even though we're talking about pen prices going up, right now on eBay, brand new pens, those pilots and those platinums and sailors are still, in the 300s, which is high, but they're not the 600 mark that we're now seeing. I saw a pen for $600, y'all, on Jet Pens. 600. I went to eBay, got it for 315. Oh, and I'll tell you what the pen is. She's not in here either. It's the Platinum 3776 Century in the celluloid. $600 on Jet Pens, $600 on Atlas, I think, too. $300 brand new eBay. So I say all of that to say you may want to give them a look see if you're on the hunt for something specific. Because, yeah, those prices are going up. And I'll leave that where that is. Let's see. That's a blue over there. Let's dip test her with this Diatramentis ink. This is a red. Imagine that, me with a red. But okay, let's check her out. Again, she's a medium nib. Okay, let's see. She is a smooth writer. To me, she's not that thick to be a medium. Well, now that I look at her up close, she is a medium. And I like that, so I'm fine with that. Medium nib, very smooth. And I'm glad it came before I go to my very first pen show that I'm going to this weekend. Because I was like, I hope that pen comes in so if the nib is funky, I can take it and get something done to it. But this nib seems very nice. Also, is she postable? And I know, guys, in the last few videos, I don't know why I call it capped. I know it's post. I just get all excited and chatty and just start saying anything. But yes, she does post very well. It's not heavy or back weighted in any way. So yeah, that is lovely. I am oh so happy about that. And she is nice and clean. She does have wear and tear on her. I'm not going to say that. Just a little bit of scratching here. But as far as the resin and the celluloid, it looks very, very good. The nib looks good. The clip looks good. So I have no complaints. But yeah, super excited for my very first vintage pen. Now, I don't know that I'm just going to be that person searching for vintage whatever, but if something catches my eye like that did in the video, because look at my little set, guys. You know she belonged in the family. She fit right in. She's the biggest of the group, but she fit right in and she is gorgeous. And I am going to have a good time riding with her in the very near future. So, what was your guess? Did you guess correctly? Did you put your guess in the comments and then go and change your answer? If you did, that's fine too. But I just hope that you made a guess while you were watching the video. Okay. Thank you guys. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until the next time I see you, love on your family and you guys be good. Bye bye.